So, who's the real coons in America? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So I'm pretty sure everybody in America has heard the expression coon. It's kind of hard to believe that anybody in the Western world hasn't heard that expression, or a significant chunk of people in the world haven't heard that expression. The way social media is pushing it, and it's being pushed by a lot of blacks. In other words, but any black person in America that doesn't toe the black line, that doesn't follow, black code, that is, well, these black people are called coons. And it's simply, in other words, you're not promoting victimhood. That's pretty much all the black code is. It's just promoting victimhood. And any black person that's not promoting victimhood will be labeled a coon. Now, in order to get the meaning of coon, you have to go to the Urban Dictionary, because in the real world, a coon is just simply short for raccoon. That's all it is. Now, according to the Urban Dictionary, a coon is feeling the need to throw your own race under the bus for gain. Now, obviously, you have to give real context to that, because there's no real meaning to it, and unless you put real context behind it. Of course, you have to go into the definition itself and get the meaning of the different words, such as gain. Well, we know what gain is. It just means to receive something, to earn something, usually financial. But the word that you really have to go in and try to get context is throwing under the bus. Of course, we know what the meaning of throwing someone under the bus. It means to attack their character. It doesn't necessarily mean to attack them physically, but to attack their character, to discredit them, to make them look bad in the media. And that's what throwing under the bus. Now, allegedly, we black conservatives are the ones that's throwing black people under the bus, because we highlight the problems in the black community. So because of that, we're the ones that's making us look bad to the world. But I say we actually have to examine that and really examine who's really throwing black people under the bus, because that's the real question here, and that's where the confusion lies. Who's really the coons that's throwing black people under the bus? Now, in order to really to do this, you have to examine the message of black conservatives and people who are on the right, blacks on the right. Then you have to compare that to the message of the blacks who are the race hustlers who are pushing the victimhood. And then we have to examine which one of these messages will be better for black people. So if we look at black conservative, our message has always been there is no white supremacy in America. It's nothing, all that white supremacy that they cry about is nothing but black inferiority. There's no racism in America. And when I say that there's no racism, I mean that there's no racism holding anyone back. Of course, racism exists according to the definition of racism, but there's no racism stopping any black person in America from achieving anything. So if racism isn't holding anybody back, then by all intents and purposes, it really truly doesn't exist. It's like the tree in the forest. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, of course it makes a sound, but it's irrelevant because no one heard it. And that's the same thing with racism. Racism is irrelevant in America because it's not hurting anyone, it's not harming anyone, it's not stopping anybody from doing anything. So if that's the case, black people, then go out there and do it. Find out what it is that you want to do. Find out what steps you have to take to achieve that, and then take those steps and achieve it. Is there guaranteed success? No. There's never going to be guaranteed success, but you have the opportunity to try. And that's all that you can ever ask for in a free society is an opportunity. And blacks have opportunity en masse. Then you have the race hustlers, these black leftists. They say, woe is me, white man out to get us, white supremacy, and let's not do nothing, but let's go march or protest and be victims all day. So again, whose message is more likely to help black people and whose message is hurting black people? Well, obviously, the race hustlers are the ones who are hurting black people. The black people are not going to succeed listen to the race hustlers. They talk about being on this damn code, which is meaningless, but never let's address the problems in the black community. Let's never address any real problems. Let's just cry about the white man. And if anybody talks about the problems in the black community, how dare you air out dirty laundry to the world? Now we can air America's problems to the world, but not the black community, right? So it's clearly who the race hustlers are. It's clearly who are the Coons. It's them. You know, these YouTubers out here, Dr. Umar Johnson, you know, Jason Black, whatever he looks like. You know, O'Shea Dude Jackson pushes a lot of victimhood with all this. I'm the bigger to be the black. He's always down with the black, which is stupid. Then you got Six Goddess, who's always hustling race, always white supremacy is race. These are the real Coons. Okay, black conservatives aren't the Coons. You know, Candace Owens is not anything but a Coon. Larry Elder, anything but a Coon. Walter E. Williams, never been a Coon. Okay, the late Walter E. Williams, that is, you know, lost him about a couple of years ago. Not a Coon. These people aren't Coon. I'm not a Coon by telling black people how to overcome, how to get better. It's these race hustlers are. And if black people keep listening to these race hustlers, keep listening to these leftists, push the leftist nonsense on black people, and keep crying race because they know that race is that magic word, almost like a drug that turns black people into basically mindless zombies. They keep saying that word because they know it's going to get an emotion from black people. Black people, like I said, they just turn into these ravenous zombies that's ready to burn everything down whenever they hear racism. And these race hustlers keep doing it. And what are they doing it for? For gain. So again, we know who the real Coons are. Is these leftists. You want anybody have a problem with that? Then you please tell me how the black conservative message is going to harm black people, but these race hustlers, this leftist message is. You can't. It's nonsense. Although you'll be idiots who try to make that case. It's going to be ultimate failure. But anyway, as I say, we know who the real Coons are, and they're all in America, and they're all on social media preaching victimhood to black people. So they're the Coons, not us. Anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on this. Black folks, you want to be mad at something? Be mad at these damn Coons out here telling you that you're victims every day. Anyway, y'all, as always, 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 until next time.